maintain that exercise is the action that can have the most impact on your brain today. For 3 reasons. The first is the one we have been discussing. Physical activity has immediate effects on brain functioning. As we have mentioned, there is an immediate improvement in mood, because you are directly stimulating the positive neurotransmitters that we have mentioned, serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins, thanks to long-term exercise. Are you literally changing your brain? The most important effect of this is that when we exercise, we stimulate the birth of new brain cells in the structure, the most important structure for memory, the hippocampus, when we exercise. New brain cells are born that will work better than the cells you carry in your hippocampus. Since you were born, they are more excitable. They have a greater predisposition to join the memory circuits than the cells that have been there all your life and make your memory work better. There are only 2 areas of the adult human brain where new cells can be born. One is the hippocampus, where the necessary stimulus is exercise. The strength, size, number of synapses, and memory capacity of the hippocampus are improved. It is because this stimulates the release of growth factors that are part of that SPA that the brain goes to when we exercise the body and help protect the hippocampus and make it grow and develop. Emotional resonance strengthens memory even for someone whose hippocampus does not work well. That's why we remember the happiest and saddest moments of our lives.
Beyond the impact of physical exercise on the cardiovascular system, there is a direct effect on the brain. It generates new brain connections, improves mood, reinforces creative thinking. In an experiment, people who were sedentary, over 65 years of age, were recruited. In the middle, imagine that you are over 65 years old, all sedentary. Half were told to walk regularly for a period of time, a few months, and the other group were asked to remain sedentary, as it is up to that point in the brain, in each hemisphere, not in the base. In the middle, we have 111. Structure is called the hippocampus, which intervenes in the consolidation of memory, especially more recent. And that area wears out. It atrophies 1% a year. After age 65, in people who walked regularly for months, that wear and tear did not occur. What's more, there was as if it were more volume of the hippocampus that generates thousands of new connections. So physical exercise is key to keeping the mind in shape. Lay.
Undoubtedly, physical activity is the most crucial factor in all studies for brain protection. Why? It's straightforward. Our heart has to pump blood to our brain and those neurons that contain the new memories. The ability to reason is the neurons that are furthest from our heart. Therefore, if we keep a strong heart, we will maintain clean arteries and a good flow of blood to the brain that will provide oxygen so that our brain remains in good condition. But you don't have to pole vault. Simply walking about 10,000 steps a day for 1 hour every day is enough to maintain a strong heart and clean arteries, which is the #1 brain protection factor.
We know, for example, that people who do physical exercise does not have to be sport, but physical exercise in a usual way, half an hour a day, walking fast 5 days a week. We know it increases the population of neurons in the hippocampus. This was described in 2002. We know that people who exercise change their hormonal constellation. And they're much less susceptible to emotional swings when we encounter difficulties in life. We know that people who exercise live longer. We know that they are less susceptible to suffering from carcinomas, to suffering from malignant tumors. We need to resume this transcendental role that the body plays in everything that is the complete life of the human being.
That sport has to be part of our lives. Let them try to see where they like it. Because the moment you find something that really motivates you, you will want to do it when you start exercising regularly and continuously. Because our famous endorphins appear, it's these wonderful neurotransmitters that suppress pain. In other words, they suppress pain, but they also greatly increase the level of well-being when people practice sports after a few days, after a month. You come home with a feeling of well-being, you feel comfortable if you want to work. Your psychological well-being begins with something much more, of course, cheap and much more natural, which is doing sports. Is that exercise and well-being in the brain go hand in hand, because what sport does is help you organize the folders that we have in the brain. It's like you clean the desk in the office. So, when we have order, it is much easier to have creativity, but it also improves attention and concentration and memory.